This video is already reminding me so much of my first video in this channel in so many ways. First of all, the lighting is absolutely horrible. It's 7:30 in the evening, and that means that I've been procrastinating recording this video all day long and for so many days already. That also means that I've been procrastinating working on my book and starting, just getting back into the thick of it. I was thinking it's already too late to start recording, I should put some makeup on, I need a shower. But you know what? I just need to start recording this video and to start working on my book because we've got goals to accomplish. Anyways, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. I'm Iris, I'm from Barcelona, and in this channel I mainly talk about the books that I read, the book that I'm gonna start writing in this video, and my day-to-day life, cozy lifestyle, just cozy home vlogs. Anyways, I said that I'm gonna start writing this book during this video, but that's actually not true. This is the book that I'm talking about. All of this, I have 60k words written. That's about 2/3 of the book, and I wrote all of this 6 years ago when I was 23, 24 years old. And then I started my business and everything. Like, my writing life kind of fell apart. I've been wanting to be a writer since I was like 7 years old. I don't know why or how that idea stuck inside my head that I was meant to be a writer, and I don't know, I just had that on the back of my mind since that moment. And the funny thing is that I have never finished writing a book. I've started so many books, but I've never finished one. This one was the closest that I got to finishing something, and I left it there. Every year since the year that I just stopped writing this book, I've been having a goal in my yearly resolutions. I've been having every year the same goal, which is to finish this book and to actually maybe someday have a chance to make one of my biggest dreams, if not my biggest dream ever, happen, which is to be a writer, maybe someday be a published author. And I have not been able to do that, and hopefully we're gonna change that, and that's why I'm starting this series. I'm gonna call it something like writing diaries. Anyways, maybe I should have started by giving you a little introduction to the story. This is a dystopian book. I know dystopian books have had so many seasons through the past years, and I know many people are just not vibing with them anymore. Maybe that's bad. Maybe I should just stop writing a dystopian book, but it's one of my favorite genres. Like, so many of my favorite books are dystopian books, so I think it was just meant to be. And honestly, the idea for the world of this book just fell inside my head. So it's a dystopian book. It's narrated by 3 different characters, so it's multiple POVs, and some of the characters have certain powers. Now, at the beginning, when I was writing this book, I thought that since the characters are quite young, they are like, I don't know if I'm gonna change it, but they are mostly 17 years old. I thought that made this book YA. But upon reflection and upon reading other books, I noticed and I realized that probably this is more like an adult dystopian book. I don't think the themes and the things that happen in this book are YA, or I don't know what determines, like, if somebody knows what determines if a book is YA or not, please let me know. I think I would like to approach it more like an adult dystopian book. But yeah, in any case, the characters have to be this age in particular because of something that happens to everyone in this society when they turn this age. Why did I get stuck? Why did I stop writing this book when I was so close to finishing it, when I was around 60k words in? Mainly it's because I got to a point and to a part of this book that was so difficult for me to write. I was almost like in the final parts when something, like, the stakes are getting so high, and I had to write a scene that I honestly didn't know how to make it realistic. I wrote all of this without any outline. Like, I just jumped right into it. I only knew the details of the world building, of the society, of the politics, because I was so clear on that. Like, usually when I have an idea for a book, I don't have an idea for the story. I have an idea for the world. And since I've tried before making a whole outline chapter by chapter, and then when I started writing the book, a previous book, I was so bored that I didn't want to write anything, I decided to jump into this one without any outline and just see from there. Problem with that, when you're trying to write a more complicated story, is that you end up in a place where you don't fully know where to go from. I had no idea how to wrap up this book. I also still don't know if it's only one book or maybe it's gonna be a duology. So as you can see, I got stuck because I didn't know where to go from there. And honestly, because I'm such a perfectionist with my writing, I think I'm not a perfectionist in any other sense or in any other area of my life. I think I'm more like, it's better to have it done than to not have it because you're trying to make it perfect. But when it comes to my writing, I don't know if it's because it's one of the things that I care the most about. Like, I don't care being mediocre at something else, but in writing, I have this idea that I have to make it as good as I can possibly make it. And that's such a bad mindset to go into it, because that makes you just not be a writer at all. You're so focused on writing every single sentence, like the best sentence it can be, and to make this story the best story it can be, that you just end up not writing anything. Please let me know in the comments if you can relate at all with what I'm saying. Maybe it's not with writing a book, but maybe it's with some other project you've been wanting to do for so long. So this year I've been slowly trying to get back into the story, into the characters' minds, into the world, just to open the doors inside my head and to start moving some pieces of the puzzle. I have definitely made some progress. I have had some ideas, but the thing that I have not done yet is reread the whole thing that I wrote, because every time that I start reading it, I sort of cringe and feel like, I don't know if I would write it like this now. There are some parts that I feel like are sort of good, I guess, but definitely the whole approach to the story, I think I would do it differently, and I think I would work more on the characters now. I started this notebook at the beginning of the year where I wrote, like, I took notes on writing books, and I was rereading Save the Cat Writes a Novel, and I was, drawing this typical guideline on how to structure your novel with the different beats. And I realized that one of the main problems that I had was that what I thought was the inciting incident of my book was actually the midpoint. So I was much further ahead than what I initially thought I was, which means maybe I was also getting overwhelmed, thinking that I had so much longer to go. So I would say right now the main problem of the whole book is from the point we are, like, from the midpoint till the end. And I think most importantly, the thing that I realized was that the theme of the story was not clear. And to be honest, I have to answer the question, what's the point of this book? Especially since it's a dystopian book. What am I trying to say? What am I criticizing of today's society? I feel like it's mainly an exploration of humans. Like, what is it to be a human in this world, like the experience of being a human, but also the evolution and the different states that all humans, well, not humans, like the human race has been through in many different stages throughout history. Also, something I've noticed is that I was trying to tackle the whole book. Like, when I thought about writing the book, I thought about writing the whole book, and that was so overwhelming, especially since I have already so much written. And I realized maybe what I should do is just take this first little part, the first act, analyze and just know exactly what's the first part of this book, the first act of this book, sorry. So it would be the hook of the book and the first plot point, which breaks into the second act, and just start from there. Like maybe I should just print the first act and read it, and from there think what things I would like to change, what things maybe I want to just start writing from the beginning, as if I had not written anything ever, and reimagine the story from the beginning. Obviously, I have so much work ahead of me, and I'm excited about that. There was a point in my life where I was trying to fit this goal into a certain time frame, like maybe write and finish this book by the end of the year. And at this point, I've just quit setting those kind of goals, especially with writing. I think for me right now is the goal would be to create a new daily routine where I can write a little bit every day or work on my book a little bit every day. Which means I don't have a goal to finish this book by a certain month or a certain year. I'm gonna work on this book as much as I need to in order to complete the book, complete the story, and make it as good as I can. That doesn't mean I'm gonna let my perfectionism get in the way or I'm gonna overwork the story. I just honestly don't want to rush this process. I want to enjoy this process, and I think the story deserves for me to really put attention and care into it. The only thing that I don't want is to not have it finished because I'm not working on it. Meaning, as long as I'm working on it every day or every week consistently, I'm okay with that. I am gonna set some goals though, like for example, during these next 2 weeks of October, before November starts, I would really like to print the first act, and I'm gonna reread it and take some notes and maybe even start working on it. I also would like to start this notebook. For example, I bought this notebook to work on my book, and even with this I have perfectionism, you guys. Like, I have not written a single word in here, a single word in here, because I'm so scared to, I don't even know. I would like to go over all of these notes that I've taken over the years, especially over this 2024, because I've been having so many ideas or maybe little hints that I've had for the characters, and I would like to just read them all and maybe start a separate document or think how I could fit those things into the book. Also, every day I would like to read a writing book. I would love to improve my craft. I really care about writing. Again, not to be a perfectionist about it, but I would love to learn. I would love to take it seriously and to improve my craft. So I'm gonna be reading some books to improve my overall story, but also my characters. I really want to figure out what's the theme of the book and what are going to be the main questions and the main points of the book. This video and this whole writing series are going to be a part of it and are also a big part of my goals for this year. I think they're going to go hand in hand. Me documenting my writing process is gonna be, I think, what's gonna make me finally start working on the book. And as I write, I'm gonna be sharing everything that I go through, maybe how I'm working through my perfectionism or what I'm learning from the books that I'm reading. And also I'm gonna be sharing all the progress that I'm gonna be making, all the steps along the way as I restart the first draft of this book. I'm so excited to be sharing all of this with you, and please let me know in the comments if you're also working on your WIP and how's the process going. Maybe if you have struggled with perfectionism in writing, maybe you could help me out or help others in the comments section as well. If you have figured something that has helped you, I would really love to know some tips because I'm struggling here. I hope you enjoyed this first video, this introduction to this series. I really hope you are gonna stay around to see how this is gonna go, if I'm actually gonna finish writing my book, maybe at some point next year, like not writing my book, like finish writing the first draft of this book, which is only gonna be the first of many, I would assume. But yeah, I hope you stick around and subscribe. Thank you so much for all of your support, for every single one of you that have already subscribed. It's making me so happy and so excited to be starting this journey and to continue sharing it with you. So if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It would help my channel so much. I will also be sharing a lot of writing and bookish content on my Instagram, which I'm gonna leave somewhere in the screen and also in the description box. It is Roch. I hope you have a fantastic day, a fantastic week, and I will see you on my next video very soon.